What's up, everybody? And I got two phrases living in my head right now. Um, the first one being, play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And the other one being, F around and find out. And this weekend, I found out what the Bronco couldn't do. Don't worry, it's repairable, I think. I guess we're going to have to find out. But I blew the motor. So we're going to have to pull the motor after having it installed for a total of 52 days. Talk about being hard on equipment. Anyway, so we're going to dig into this thing. I got to pull it. I'm going to time lapse that whole process, and then once I get it on the stand and we start digging into it, I will slow it down and actually show you what happened. And hopefully it's nothing too crazy. So, nothing to it but to do it. So let's go. Alright, so here we are. Another wonderful, beautiful 351 Windsor. As you can see, this whole passenger side is just coated with engine oil. And that's because the crankcase got so overly pressurized that the little had a block off cap. Where'd I put it? Oh, over here. It pushed this, mind you, which is a very, very tight fit, halfway out of this hole, and then did that, blew the cap off. So a lot of crankcase pressure, and because of that, it pushed a bunch of oil out of that, as well as into the combustion chambers, and my exhaust is full of oil. Ignore the massive amounts of rubber. If you were looking at my shorts, you know what that's from. And then I looked in my rearview mirror and saw that I was smoking out the freeway. And I mean, absolutely smoking out the freeway. Now, mind you, I'm 20 minutes from home, and I have no other way of getting there, and didn't want to have to wait on a tow truck, which probably would have been a better idea. But I just kept driving, thinking, okay. I ran into a big smoky smoke screen before, and it was a valve cover had failed, or valve cover seal had failed, and put new valve cover gaskets on it, and it fixed it. I was not expecting what followed to happen, where I was doing the smoke screen and then a whole bunch of lifter clatter. At least I think it sounds top end to me. Doesn't sound like the bottom end. It didn't seize, it still turns over and it still starts. It now chooches out of the valve cover like a freight train from the 1800s, and it clatters a lot. So I'm hoping collapsed lifter, but that wouldn't explain the crankcase pressure. So yeah, we're gonna end up pulling this thing apart. I gotta check it all, make sure that there isn't anything super crazy that's gonna need me to do a full tear down and rebuild, because that's gonna suck, and I don't exactly have the finances in order to do that. Anyway, so we're gonna get started. I'm just gonna dig in, time lapse it, and then we'll get into it when I actually start pulling heads and everything off. All right, engine's out, and it's on the stand. I really should pressure wash this before I dig into it, but I'm too lazy, and I'm making a mess in my garage. Anyway, I was looking at the exhaust ports across the heads, and I think my trouble cylinder is this one, because it's full of oil, where the rest of them are just sooty. So I'm gonna take the intake off and take this driver's side head off and check out. I think that would be number 5. So I have a feeling that's the one that's damaged. And we'll still go through, take the other head off, flip it over, pull the oil pan, and check my bearings because she's a little taut. Anyway, I'm gonna set you up. We're gonna dig into this thing and figure out what in the world happened. Well, so far, no craziness yet. I'm sure it's gotta be just the one piston. All right, moment of truth. I'm nervous. Woo! Oh my. All right. Well, there's my answer. Melted the piston. I melted it good too. So that's awesome. Got it. I don't want to pull the... Not pulling it. Not pulling the pickup. It's not happening. Can't make me. The rubber mallet that gets used for everything. Ooh, pretty. Oh, I don't even know if I'm gonna go. Got it. Don't want to drop it. Yeah. I would say that it's not supposed to look like that. So, that's cool. I don't remember if these are forged or... I think these were forged. I don't know. IC9932. No, I'm dyslexic. IC9923. It's an icon piston, part number. The other number is 69259. It's pretty boogered, I'd say. First piston I've ever melted. That's wild. Yeah, that's pretty wild. Lean mixture, too much timing, I don't know. But, I mean, I don't know which one. Alright, so it's the next day. Had to contemplate some stuff last night. We saw what that one piston looked like, and she leaned out and decided to reforge itself. Anyway, came out here early this afternoon. It's now late afternoon, and decided to pull the other head, which I wasn't expecting to find anything. I thought the one piston was going to be it. Well, things escalated rather quickly. And in the expensive manner, too. So, anyway, I'm going to flip this thing back over, and I'm going to show you... Actually, no, I'm not going to flip it over. I'm just going to pull the piston, the other pistons that are absolutely destroyed, and you can tell me what you think. Now I gotta find tools. Where did I put all my junk? What do you think? I really boogered this one up. We'll get a closer look at all the damage once I get them all out. But it absolutely collapsed the ringland. Melted it, broke it into bits pieces. There's literally ring embedded in the head of the piston. This is awesome. Next one should be number 4. Yeah, it was number 1, number 5, number 4, and that was it. They took the brunt of it. Mind you, it's usually the outboard cylinders that run the leanest, especially in a carbureted or throttle body fuel injection setup, because it's relying on the dynamics of the intake manifold to distribute the fuel. So it's not uncommon for those cylinders to run lean. and your O2 sensor reads an average of however many cylinders it's getting the signal from. And in my case, it was only getting the signal from the passenger bank, which would be 1 and 4. So I think number 5 failed first, and then due to me trying to limp it home, still maintaining 60 miles an hour, which honestly I should have just pulled off and had somebody tow it. Number 5 and number 4, not number 5, number 1 and number 4 got hot, and then rings butted together because the gap was insufficient, because I followed the instructions, and I'll explain more about that in a second. And they butted together because it got hot, and since they had nowhere else to go, they went and lifted up and broke the ring gland, and then everything played ping pong inside the combustion chamber. All the wrist pins are still nice and loose. No play there. No rock. Anyway, there's this one. This one really didn't get beat up too bad, but definitely something went flying around in here. I just don't know what. See how the there's no gap in the ring anymore. Got hot. Got real hot. Still curious as to where this debris came from. All right, you can see the vertical scoring, but I can't catch my nail on it. So that's promising. I do have aluminum spray welded onto the upper lip here. These pistons look okay, but again, we're not going to be reusing these anyway. These cylinder walls, you can see scuffing from the vertical scuffing, but not much for scoring. This one had something playing ping pong in it, but again, I can't catch my nail on anything. And then this one is probably the worst of the worst, and I can catch on one spot. I lied. Yeah, I can feel it, but I can't catch it. I mean, more aluminum spray welded up there at the top. So I don't think I'm gonna have to bore it too much, but the next piston size is gonna be 4040. These are 30 thousandths over bore. The 351 is a 4-inch bore. So 4040 would be the next size up. It'll be another set of forged pistons. I was looking at another set of icons. These are 11 cc reliefs combined with the valve reliefs, 11 cc's. Their cheapest set of 4040s have a 6 cc valve relief, so it's only like it's half of this. There's not 2 sets of reliefs, and they're $970 just for the pistons and the rings. So that'll be an endeavor, but I'll have to get this thing stripped the rest of the way, get it cleaned up to an extent, and get it down to machine shop so they can tell me how bad I did it. So here's the pistons. I marked them with a Sharpie for 615. If you look at the bearings, they're not awful. Not awful at all. So yeah, 5 was the one that went nuclear. 1, I think, started with the ring butting, lifting, and breaking the edge off, and then melted away. And then number 4, I'm not really sure where the debris came from, but I don't know, I guess it ate something. Because, okay, here's the cylinder head. This is number 1, and then this is number 4. I would have thought if nothing broke off the head of the piston, then it would have been the ground strap on the spark plug. But as you can see, that ground strap is still there and unmolested. So I don't know. And then number 1, the ground strap is still there, but it's been beat up and there's no gap in that spark plug anymore. So I don't know. And then we can see something played ping pong inside number 3. But whatever it is, wasn't very big. But as you may already know, I have a set of AFRs here. So these are AFR 185s. These are Edelbrock Victor Juniors. So 185cc intake runners, and I think these are 210cc intake runners. So these, breathe a lot more. But the truck ran great with these on them first. So it actually had better low end torque. I think these are more in line with the camshaft that I have in it. And then these were a last ditch. I needed to set of heads because I bent an exhaust valve on those 3 years ago. Yeah, I'm not light on my vehicles. They take a beating, clearly. And sometimes they fight back. Well, I certainly did a number on this one, didn't I? Yeah, I absolutely destroyed this motor. Was it fun when it happened? It was until it wasn't. And then a couple lessons learned. Lean is mean until it ain't. And sometimes I should just suck it up and deal with the fact that it's a gas guzzler, instead of trying to squeeze every little ounce of fuel economy I can out of this thing. Another thing that I'm going to have to address, because I think I could have mitigated this if I had done so, is have a second O2 sensor on the driver's side bank. I have true duals, and then I have one O2 sensor for the sniper unit. So I'll have to get a standalone AFR or O2 sensor and gauge for the other side. So that'll have to be addressed. But the bright side is, it is repairable, but just like everything else, it costs money. So block work is gonna have to be done, have to get pistons. Bright side is cranking rods are all good. I haven't looked at the cam yet, but I'm sure it's fine. So it's not the end of the world. This block will live again. But on the bright side, it's not all doom and gloom. Last night, trying to figure out the most expeditious way for me to get the truck back on the road. I took off this morning at about, 9:30, 10 o'clock, and drove 2 hours one way, and I went and picked something up. And so I'm going to pick you up real quick. We're going to take a step out of the garage, and I'm going to show you the crusty pile that I picked up that should work, maybe, and I'll explain to you what the plan is. But it's not going to happen in this episode. It'll be in the next one. So let's go. All right, so this is none other than another 351 Windsor. This one, judging by the intake, the guy had it labeled as a 96. Judging by this this piping for the intake, it is a 96 because 96 was a mass airflow truck, which is promising because these were factory roller blocks, which means I can reuse my camshaft. So the plan is, I mean, yeah, it's sitting on its back, but the plan is, all I'm going to use on this thing is the bottom end. Throw the 185 AFR heads on it, my intake manifold, my camshaft, lifters, and rockers and push rods, and just run it. Of course, it's not going to make nearly as much power as the other one did, but it'll at least get the truck on the road. All right, so yeah, so that's the plan. Got the 351 Windsor that's in the back of the Power Stroke. We're going to be doing heads, intake, cam on that, and that won't be for another couple weeks because I am going on a trip and got a couple projects that are going to be taking place during that. I am going to be reviving my very first vehicle. I'm not going to tell you what the vehicle is, but you're not going to be surprised when you see it. So if you have a guess, you can put that in the comment section below. Unless you actually know, because I know there are some people that actually know me and know what my first vehicle is. If you're one of those people, keep it zipped. And then I'll be fixing my dad's 88 F-250. It's been leaking oil since I can remember. He's had it for years. Always run well, but again, leaks a ton. So we'll be pulling that motor and fixing some gaskets and whatnot. And then been working with a local screen printing company trying to get t-shirts developed for the channel. It's just something to help offset the costs of doing all of this. Because as you guys may know, the auto hobby thing is not cheap. There are cheap ways of doing it, but if I can offset some of that cost by selling you guys some merchandise, that will definitely help. So I'm working on developing a new logo for the channel, and that logo will be on the t-shirt, just like a typical shop shirt. Just logo on the upper left hand chest, and then just like black, or I'll probably do black to start. It'll be a small batch, maybe 20 or 25 shirts, and then I will let you guys know when that becomes available to you. If you guys are interested in any particular sizes, like I only plan on doing smalls, mediums, larges, and extra larges. If you or somebody you know wants one that's going to be a double XL or triple XL, let me know, put it in the comment, or you can find me on Instagram, same channel name, and you can shoot me a message on there, and we'll work out the details and being able to get that for you. If there are other merchandise items that you think you guys would be interested in, baseball caps, beanies, keychains, bottle openers, anything like that, we can figure. Let me know if that's something you guys are interested in, and I'll figure out what I need to do to get that for you guys. I'm not one that, I don't want to sell things that isn't going to be used or actually sold. I'm not trying to have a warehouse in my basement of a bunch of stuff that didn't go anywhere. So anyway, if you're new to the channel, appreciate you joining us and hanging out. And if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you want to say something to me, I do read the comments. Just put a comment in there. If you got questions about something, I will do my best to answer them the best I can. And then if I don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't know the answer. But if you got comments about any of the projects that I have, then I'll be happy to interact with you guys. And then hit that subscribe, or I said hit that subscribe button already. Hit the bell, that way you get notified when these videos do drop. That way you don't miss what happens. And yeah, with that, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and I will see you guys next time. Not in this shop, or garage. I'll be in a different location. Be a nice little change of pace. So with that, I will see you guys then. Have a good week.